A pirate ship, Catch Sparrow, from Barbados, docked in Boston in 1687. Richard Naramore, a Bostonian, was the master, and according to his testimony, he had been hired by 18 pirates at the cost of 40 pieces of eight apiece to deliver them at different places along the East Coast from New York to Newfoundland. These passengers, according to Naramore, were former pirates returning home with the chests of treasure to retire. The first pirate to be dropped off landed at Gardner Island on Long Island with two chests. A second one went to Newport, Rhode Island, and two with small chests went to Damariscove in Lynn, Massachusetts. Once the shoemaking capital of America, the citizens were recently up in arms. The state wanted to build a superhighway through the Lynn Woods to hook up with interstate highway system. The residents won their battle on the road, and the road was stopped. Why, you ask? Lynn doesn't have many wooded sections today, and what little remains the people are determined to save. Also, the first shoemaker of Lynn, a reformed pirate, once lived in the woods at a place called Dungeon Rock. Two men from nearby Marblehead, Massachusetts, spent their entire lives searching for treasure there in the 19th century. Hiram Marble tunneled through Dungeon Rock from the late 1840s to November 1868, and his son Edwin continued digging the man-made cave in Lynn Woods until 1880 when he died. Neither, as far as we know, found a trace of treasure. Hiram claimed that a fortune teller had told him that treasure was buried at Dungeon Rock and that he would find it. An old Lynn's legend adds some credence to the prophecy. A pirate ship sailed into the Saugus River bordering the woods in 1657 and dropped anchor. Four seamen rowed away from the ship and continued up the river as the ship set sail again and returned to the sea, never to be seen again. Besides a few houses, there was an iron foundry located on the river bank. It is now known as the Saugus Iron Works, built in 1642, birthplace of America's iron and steel industry. A few days after the pirate ship had departed, a note was left at the iron foundry door from the four pirates who had rowed up the river into the woods. The note read that these men wanted hatchets and shackles made, and that if the forge foreman agreed to make the articles and leave them at the edge of the woods, they would provide him poundage of silver. The foreman, however, was to keep the recent request secret as part of the bargain. He boasted to his friends about the handsome reward he received for his work. Word of pirate band living in the Linwood spread, and soon a British man of war sailed up the river, and armed redcoats entered woods to capture the pirates. Three of the four were caught, napping in a valley some 2 miles in the woods, where they had built a hut and had planted a garden. The place today is known as Pirates' Glen. They were brought aboard men of war, shipped back to England, and hanged. The fourth pirate, Thomas Veale, escaped the British by retreating deep into the woods and hiding in a cave which is now known as Dungeon Rock. Pirate Veale made the cave his home, and there he crafted shoes from animal leather, which he traded for food and utensils with neighboring Lynn villagers. Rumors spread that Veale was harboring a treasure in the cave, but no one discovered the truth of this speculation, for in the summer of 1658, New England experienced a violent earthquake which blocked the entrance to the cave with the large boulders, shutting Pirate Veale inside where he supposedly perished. Records of Thomas Veale as a pirate are scarce, but he did sail his ketch with 14 pirate crewmen aboard into New London, Connecticut, to buy cannons. But this was in the summer of 1685. Graham and Veale have silver plate, and the crew wear plush clothing, the governor of Connecticut revealed to the Massachusetts legislature. A merchant sea captain, John Prentice, went directly to the Massachusetts General Court about the same time to complain directly that a sloop of Captain Veale with Harvey, a merchant, on board did chase my vessel, shooting cannons off Cape Ann. If you enjoy this program, please like it, subscribe it, and share it. If you would like to view the videos before they are published on YouTube, sometimes even a week before, because for treasure hunter, the right information received ahead of time can mean a difference between success and a failure, you can click on my Patreon account in the description below. In addition to some extras, you will also receive a full transcript of the videos, but most of all, your support will allow me to continue to do research and post more videos for you. And thank you for your support. Prentice was saved when Veale's vessel was driven away in a storm. The Massachusetts governor also was informed that Veale committed piracy in Virginia. He sent out an armed brig in pursuit, Richard Padeshaw in command, with Captain Sampson Waters. But they couldn't find Veale and his men. Maybe that was when Veale slipped into the Saugus River, buried his treasure in the Lynn cave, and remained in the Lynn woods. Thomas Veale, also spelled Veale or Veale in old records, was born and brought up in Lynn, but was unlawfully active in 1685, according to the records, and not in 1658, as the old legend indicates. Essex County Court records show that on June 21st, 1685, Thomas Veale of Lynn is accused of theft of pewter from the Salem home of Captain Gershom Brown. He is to pay treble damages or be whipped 20 stripes. Tom took the lashes, and apparently that is when he decided to become a pirate instead of house robber in 1685. A Lynn spiritualist, supposedly talking directly to Pirate Veale, passed on information to Hiram Marble, or possibly the Hiram's father, as to the exact whereabouts of the treasure at Dungeon Rock. Hiram bought the land surrounding and including Dungeon Rock in 1852, where he had already began a deep excavation to find Pirate Veale's body and his treasure. Prior to this, in 1834, other treasure hunters placed a keg of powder in a cave, writes Lynn's 19th century historian Alonzo Lewis, which on its explosion blew out the lower portion of the rock, causing a large mass above to fall, and thus destroying the cavern. Hiram used sledges, crowbars, and explosives to chip and blow away the hard rock, but by 1862 he had tunneled only 135 feet. Hiram had chiseled out stairs into his handmade cave, which measured 7 feet high by 6 feet wide. At about that time, Hiram moved from Marblehead and built a house in the Lynn woods to be near his work. When Hiram's son Edwin was old enough, he helped his father by carrying buckets of chipped rock out of the cave. Today, a pile of rock chips over 200 feet high and 40 feet wide is located near the cave entrance. When Hiram died on November 10, 1868, probably from his strenuous labor inside the damp cave, Edwin continued to tunnel through the rock for 12 more years. The Marbles spent all their savings and a total of 22 years on the project, but always expected that at the next crack of the hammer or pick, they would break through into Pirate Veale's sealed tomb. Anyone who ventured into the Lynn woods day or night could hear the continuous tapping and conclude it was the ghost of Pirate Veale still making shoes when in reality it was Edwin Marble striking his sledgehammer against the rocks. Edwin died in 1880, but the 200-foot man-made cave remains in Lynn Woods at Dungeon Rock as a monument to his and his father's life work. If you enjoyed this program, please like it, subscribe it, and share it. If you would like to view the videos before they are published on YouTube, sometimes even a week before, because for treasure hunter the right information received ahead of time can mean a difference between success and a failure, you can click on my Patreon account in the description below. In addition to some extras, you will also receive a full transcript of the videos, but most of all, your support will allow me to continue to do research and post more videos for you. And thank you for your support.